What scares me the most? Surprise, surprise. People. Yes, people. I have had the most creepy encounters with people than with anything paranormal. You don't believe me? Just keep on watching. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Spooky Week. If you are new here, hi, my name is Paula, and if you enjoy my videos you know what to do, just smash that subscribe button. And with no further ado, let's jump into today's video. What most of you might not know is that I lived in Ireland for 2 years before I moved to Greece, and back in Ireland I had rented this apartment in the borders of a nice area. My apartment probably was one of the last buildings before the problematic area. And what do I mean with the problematic? It was an area where people were using and selling drugs. There was plenty of robbery and other sketchy things that I don't really want to talk about. And yeah, you might be wondering, why did you rent the house there in the first place? And hear me out. The first reason was that I was just starting my job as a flight attendant and I was not properly swimming in money. Second, the apartment was one of the cheapest that we could find and was pretty good. And the last reason was that I had 3 housemates that made me feel safe at that point. So we were living there for quite some time and there was nothing weird or sketchy going on. You know, we were just going to work, coming back home, nothing like overwhelming or weird going on. Until the day that one of my housemates came back home after work and she looked a little bit, uneasy. And I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Bloody hell, you have no idea what happened to me." I was like, "So, what happened?" And she said, "I was being followed by this person. This person was wearing a black cape, a top hat, and a white mask." And I was laughing because at that point it looked funny. And we just laughed it off and that's it. We never spoke about that again. Some weeks went by and I was coming back home after the late shift. I clearly remember that would be around 1 o'clock in the morning and I was just getting out of the bus, and from the bus stop to my house I had to walk, let's say, around 15 minutes. I remember that I was walking quite fast because it was late at night and I didn't like to be at that late outside, and because it was a sketchy place and was freezing cold on that day, so I decided to go fast home. And while I was walking down the road I saw like this figure, but it was quite far so I couldn't realize very well what was going on. By the time I approached that figure I could see there was this, what looked to me to be a man wearing this black cape, like a top hat and a white mask. The mask was this type of mask that has no facial expression, there's no color, you just have this place for the eyes and the mouth is totally like closed. I looked at the mask and I was like, oh shoot me. So I start walking quite fast because I was feeling uneasy and scared, and plus I was alone, so I decided to go faster home. So by the time I arrived home, my housemates, they were already sleeping, so I couldn't say anything else about this. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll talk with them tomorrow morning. And on the next day I had again the late shift, so I had to take again the bus and then walk those 15 minutes back to my house. By the time I was walking down the road to my house, I saw again the figure and my heart started, pounding like there was no tomorrow, because I knew would be again the same person and I didn't know which kind of intentions the person would have. I kept walking, and at that point I totally remember that I was freaking out. I was thinking that, okay, I'm gonna be murdered or I'm gonna be robbed and I'm alone, and all these crazy things going through my mind. And I decided to just pick my phone, call my dad, and I said to my dad, listen, please just talk to me because I'm walking down the road and there is this strange with the black cape, a top hat and a white mask, and I'm freaking out. So just the fact that I was talking with my dad made me feel a little bit safe, because I was sure if something happened to me, at least my dad would know what was going on. I was approaching this, again, this thing, this man, whatever you want to call it, and this time he didn't walk through. He just stopped there, staring at me, not moving, just breathing and staring. And believe me, this is freaking crazy. By the time I went back home, for sure I was white, and my housemate said, so Paula, what's going on? And I said, listen, there was this dude with a black cape, a top hat and a white mask staring at me. I saw him yesterday. He just passed through and he didn't say anything, but this time he stopped and he was looking at me all the way here. My housemate started laughing and he said, and I quote, you girls are crazy. There's no such thing as a man with a black cape, a white mask and a top hat. It can't be possible. You might have seen something else, but there's no such thing as this kind of man that you are describing. And I said, okay, as you wish. One of these days you're gonna see him and then we're gonna talk. On the next day I was working again and I didn't even think about taking the bus and do the walk. No, at this point I decided to take a taxi. Better safe than sorry, right? So I took a taxi back home, and when I just entered my house, my housemate was there and he said, did you see him? And I said, no. Do you think that I will do the walk again? No, I took a taxi. It just dropped me at the gate and I came in. And my housemate said, fucking hell, I just saw that man and I thought you girls were crazy. And I was like, did he do something to you? And he said, no, it just said, I'm gonna kill you all. And I was like, what? So we were so scared that we decided to call the police, give the description of the man, but the police said they couldn't do anything because we were just saying that was a man with a black cape, a top hat and a mask, nothing else. They kept the report there. But since the man didn't do anything to us, there was nothing that could prove that what we were saying was true. I think they discredit a little bit all this situation. But anyway, since we were not feeling safe in that place, we decided to move to another one before one of us get murdered or something like that. And yeah, that's why I was saying that I have had the most weird encounters with people. Not with paranormal stuff, I might have like 1 or 2 paranormal stories, but nothing that you can compare to the creepy encounters that I had with people. So yeah, let me know if you ever had any crazy experience or creepy experience with people. If you had, just leave a comment down below, and this is it for today. I'll see you all soon. Bye!